Iain from RTO here. Welcome to another album ranking, and because it is the last Tuesday of the month, it is Ladies' Day on RTO, where we dedicate to the female artists and their contributions to the music genre. And today we're going to have a look at a prolific singer-songwriter here from the UK, P J Harvey, or Polly Jean Harvey MBE, no less. She was born on the 9th of October 1969, so I am exactly 3 years older than her. So she doesn't just write, sing, plays guitar and loads of other instruments. But it all started in 1988 for her when she joined a band called Automatic Delamy as a vocalist, a guitarist and saxophonist. And in that band was John Parrish, who actually became her long-term collaborator. She had a relationship with Nick Cave, and Nick Cave in the Bad Seeds, of course. She's won quite a few prizes. She's the only person to win the Mercury Prize twice, once in 2004 Stories from the Sea and 2011 for Let England Shake. Had Britwater nominations, Grammy Awards, 3 accolades with the Rolling Stone Awards, 1992's Best New Artist and Best Singer-Songwriter, and 1995's Artist of the Year. Also in their list of 500 best albums, there is 1, 2, 3. That's pretty good, isn't it? And to top it all off, in 2013 she was appointed a member of the Order of the British Empire for her services to music. Now she's released 9 albums, and there is 1 to come this year apparently. There's not, I haven't heard much news, there's no release date yet, but apparently there is 1 due. So what we'll do, we'll have a look at these 9 albums. So coming in at number 9 we have her 6th album, and it's called and it was released, in 2004. I thought I hadn't put the date down, but I have. So on here we have P J Harvey. Now what she plays on here, and she sings, she plays guitar and the bass, the piano, the accordion, the auto harp and the melodica. Rob Ellis does the drums, Head does backing vocals, and even Isaac does backing vocals as well. First track on here is called The Life and Death of Mr. Badmouth. I love this. I love the guitar riff all the way through. It really is good. It's gritty. I like that one. And she plays, considering she plays all the instruments on this. Then we get Shame, good track. Like that track. It's got a really good riff in that one. Now, I do apologise for the next one because the track is called Who the Fuck. I don't like this at all. It's not a very good track anyway. Pocket Knife, it's alright. It's not the best one on the album. Then we get my favourite track on this album. It's called The Letter. I like this one because it's got a little bit more beef behind it. Really is good. Then we get The Slow Drug. It's quite boring, really. No drive to it. No Child of Mine, bit of a filler. It's only 1 minute and 5 seconds long. Cat on the Wall, one of the better tracks on this album. It's got lots of energy, pretty good. You Come Through. I like the different sounds on this. Bit experimental, but yeah, it's okay. Then we get It's You, one of the brighter tracks on here. It's got a very interesting bass line on this. The End, It's one of these sort of filler things, bits and bobs, nothing special, and the Desperate Kingdom of Love. I like this. Is one of my favourite acoustic songs on this album. Pretty good. Seagulls is just a recording of seagulls. Why not? And then the last track is The Darker Days of Me and Him. It's a bit boring and depressing. I can't find anything good then. I don't know if this is a song with the breakup with Nick Cave. I'm not sure, but with the title it may be. It was the last track on the album. Definitely a mixed bag here. Too many tracks on it for a start. Some silly nonsense tracks on there, you know. Take them off. The only thing I'll say is that hats off to Ms. Harvey. She played every instrument on here apart from the drums. So I'm going to give this one an RTO ranking of 4 out of 5. Okay then, coming in at number 8, we have the 9th album, and it's called The Hope 6 Demolition Project. It's the 9th and most current album until we have one out this year, and it was released in 2016. And it's got P J Harvey doing lots of stuff. There's too many instruments to say what she's playing. John Parrish, he backing vocals and guitars and keyboards as well. We've got synth bass by Flood, Mick Harvey backing vocals and percussion, Jean-Marc Butty on backing vocals, and a huge list of guest musicians as well. First track on this one is called The Community of Hope. Great song. It's a very catchy acoustic track. Really is good. Then we get The Ministry of Defence. This is the one I sort of struggle with here. I find it a little bit boring, if I'm going to be quite honest. A Line in the Sand, great vocal from P J Harvey. It's not a bad track. Chain of Keys, good track, very good vocal from P J Harvey. River, a Conister. I'm not keen on this one. It's sort of just not much actually going on it within the track. Then we got Near the Memorials to Vietnam and Lincoln. This is great. It's one of them songs that you can sit around a campfire with a guitar singing it in a really drunkenly manner. Really good. Then we get a great track, my favourite one, called The Orange Monkey. It's got such a catchy tune to it. You cannot think, oh, this is good. And a little bit of tappy. It's got semi sort of acoustic. Really good. Then we've got a track called Medicals. I like this. It's got a bit of more grit. It's a really good track. Then we get The Ministry of Social Affairs. Great vocal. Some nice guitar on there as well. The Wheel. Very good melody on this and different sounds to it. Really good. Then we get Dollar Dollar. It's a little bit dreary. It's the last one. I like this album. I really do like this album, although it comes in at number 8. There's 1 or 2 tracks, I think it's because it's low, because it's a little bit sends me to sleep, but there are some really good tracks on this, so I'm going to give this one an RTO ranking of 5 out of 10. Okay, coming in at number 7, we have the 8th album, released on the 14th of February 2011, and it's called Let England Shake. And it was this was recorded in a church in Dorset, for where she lives. So it's got lots of atmosphere on this. So it's P J Harvey, John Parrish, Mick Harvey, they all play the instruments between them, and Jean-Marc Boutet on the drums. First track is called Let England Shake. I love this track. I think being recorded in a church it has some benefits because the echo is fantastic. I like that track a lot. The Last Living Rose, another quirky little track. The guitar sounds brilliant with its natural ambience. The Glorious Land, again, it's got, I think, recorded in an old church. There's so many echoes and sounds. It really is good. The Words That Marketh the Murder, not one of my favourites. It's okay. Then we get All and Everyone. This is my favourite track on here. The vocal delivery is fantastic, and I like how the tempo changes in here. And because, again, it's that church, it gives that natural echo to the vocals. On Battleship Hill, excellent track. PJ's vocal is solid on that. Then we get England, very basic guitar, it's atmospheric, wonderful arrangement that is. In Dark Places, again, it's just a very good arrangement, using the natural ambience of a church, really good. Bitter Branches, yeah, I like the acoustic guitar in this, it just sounds really natural. Hanging in the Wire, I love this track. The piano is fantastic, it's nice and gentle but with a natural sort of echo, really is good. Written on the Forehead, very Kate Bush, nothing wrong with that, like that track. The Colour of Earth, that's okay. It's a song that she sings with Mike Harvey, no relation, but Mike Harvey, of course, was in Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds even. Again, this is a really good album. I like the sound and what they produced in the church. Really is good. So I'm going to give this one an RTO ranking of 6 out of 10. Okay then, coming in at number 6, we have the fourth album from 1998, and it's called Is This Desire. So we've got P J Harvey on vocals and guitars, and Mike Harvey on bass and keyboards, John Parrish on vocals, backing vocals, guitar and keyboards, Rob Ellis on the drums, Eric Drew Feldman piano, and additional musicians there are Joe Gore guitar, Jeremy Hogg guitar and Terry Edwards trumpet, and Richard Hunt plays a little bit of violin. First track on this one is called Angeline. Really good song. This has got a really jazzy feel to it, and it's a fantastic vocal from P J Harvey. The Sky Lit Up, this is a very short track, funky sound to it, really good. I like that track, it's a little bit different for her. Then we get The Wind, really good atmospheric track. It's one thing she is pretty good at is creating atmosphere on her records. Got a really steady beat to it, and another superb vocal. My Beautiful Leah, I like this track. I like the sound on it. It's got like a gritty, dirty sort of riff on it, really good. Then we get A Perfect Day, Elise, good track. The bass line is brilliant, nice sort of indie rock track, excellent stuff. Catherine, it's another ambient style track, really nice arrangement that is. Electric Light, now the bass line on this sort of really echoes, especially when you hear this under the headphones, it all goes round your ears, really good. And then we get my favourite track on here, it's just called The Garden. The piano is ambient, the vocals are just crystal clear. There's a little bit of programmed drum on this programming, but it works. Then we get Joy. On the Garden, the drum machine worked perfectly, but it doesn't sound right on this, and the vocal isn't very good either. The River, another great track. The very moody, ambient. The piano work is terrific on this track. Then we get No Girl So Sweet. Solid rocker. You know, she's gone up a notch, and she can really deliver these sort of growly vocals. Absolutely brilliant. Is This the Desire? Some great guitar work on here, and again, a very, very good vocal. Once again, a really good album. She's a P J Harvey, to me, she's sort of underrated. One of the most talented young ladies. Well, she's my age now, but one of the most talented women this country has produced, and she's not mainstream, but she's got such a big following. It's a really good album, so I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 6.5. Okay, then coming in at number 5, we do have the debut album that was released in 1992 called Dry. On here it's P J Harvey, of course. Vocals, guitar and violin. Steve Vaughan plays the bass. Rob Ellis, as ever, is on drums, vocals and harmonium. Ian Oliver plays bass on this as well, as long as Mike Payne. And double bass is Bren Grenelvelt, and Chaz Dickey plays the cello. Oh My Lover. Love this. Love that ripping riff. Eerie sort of start from P J Harvey. Excellent. Oh Stella. Very strong track. Very dirty riffs. Great bass line. Love that track. Then we get Dress. My favourite track on the album, and probably one of my favourite tracks by P J Harvey. The guitar solo is amazing. Really, really good. Then we get Victory. Now, the start of this reminds me of White Stripes, Seven Nation Army. Brilliant track. Excellent. Happy and Bleeding, one of those sort of soulful acoustic tracks. Really good. And then we get Sheila Nagig. This is what I call post-pub grunge sound to it. It's gets into the pub grunge music. Really good. Good riffs in that. Hair. Really good bass line. I love how the guitar builds up on this track. Plants and Rags. A little bit disjointed. It seems like it's two tracks that weren't finished and they just stuck them together. You can tell it doesn't. The first bit and the second bit just don't fit. Then we get Fountain. It's got a really nice beat to it, very catchy. Then Water's the last track. I like the quirky bass line. Terrific way to end the album. A really good a really good debut album from P J Harvey. Hit the ground running. There's no experimental on this. Very consistent. Very good little album. So I shall give this a RTO ranking of 7 out of 10. Coming in at number 4 then, got the second album from 1993, Rid of Me. We've got P J Harvey playing every instrument she can lay her hands on. Steve Vaughan on the bass and Rob Ellis doing the drums. Starts off with the title track, Rid of Me, my favourite track. One of my favourite tracks by PJ. I love the bass line on this, the guitar work, some solid guitar work from PJ. Absolutely terrific track. Then we get Mist. Again, this has got some of PJ Harvey's best guitar playing on it. Great drumming here from Rob as well. Very, very good track. Then we get Legs. It sounds very demo than an actual song. It feels a little bit unfinished for me. Rub Till It Bleeds. I love the grungy sound on this. It's raw. It's so raw you could cut your hand on it. Great bass line. Hook again. Really going through the grungy sort of sound. Some great riffs in it. Then we get Man-Sized Sex Text. It's just nonsense. Then we get a cover of a Bob Dylan song, Highway 61 Revisited. It's one of the songs I do like by Bob Dylan actually, and P J Harvey did a really good version of it. Then we get 50-Foot Queenie. Love the guitar start on this. Solid track. And then we got Yuri G. I suppose this may be about Yuri Gagarin, I don't know. Interesting riff. Some nice effects on this. And then we get Man Size, good track. Nice rock track. Funky bass, really good. Dry. Some great riffs on this one. Drumming's good as well. Me Jane. I love the freaky vocal line from P J Harvey here. It's really quite disturbing but very good at the same time. Snake, a bit of a filler track, I don't like this. And the last track is called Ecstasy. Really good track, some funky guitar. I'm really struggling this morning, sorry. Really good guitar effects at the beginning, some great riffs. Excellent. Another strong album. Solid. 7.3. Okay then, coming in at number 3, we have the 7th album released in 2007, White Chalk. P J Harvey again playing any instrument that she can find in the studio. John Parrish, he's doing drums, bass guitar, acoustics, banjos. Eric Drew Feldman, pianos and keyboards, and a Mellotron and a Millie Moog. Jim White does the drums, and we've got lots of backing vocals. We've got Nico Brown, Andrew Dixon, Bridget Pierce, Martin Brunsden, and Nick Bycat on a track called On Before Departure. So the first track is called The Devil. Again, a very good track. Quirky, the piano sounds great, the vocals great, very catchy tune. Dear Darkness, nice gentle track. The drums are done on the brushes and I love that sound. Very good vocal as well, especially the little bit of the guitar halfway through is excellent as well. Then we get my favourite track on this one, Grow. Very atmospheric. The piano is wonderful. Then you get a little bit of harpsichord as well, just mixed into the mix. Fantastic. When Under Ether. Very, very good vocal from P J Harvey. I love the piano. It really complements her vocal as well. White Chalk. Interesting this is. Some interesting. It's the percussion. It's really interesting. But it works. Broken Heart. Vocals are good. But the harmonies don't really fit on it. I don't know why. Silence. My second favourite track on this is, I just love the percussion again. Really interesting. I like interesting percussion. Really works on that. And then Talk to You, a very eerie, atmospheric track. The piano is fantastic. Great vocal from PJ. Then we get a track called The Piano. Very catchy tune. Very basic. Then we get Before Departure. I love this. It's so relaxing. The harmonies are wonderful. It's such a relaxing track. And we get The Mountain. Just a really solid track to end the album. This was a different sort of album for P J Harvey. More piano driven than guitar, but it really works. It is such a relaxing album. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 7.5. Okay. Top 2 was very hard because these two albums are my favourite. Both of them are my favourite albums by P J Harvey. So coming in at number 2, we have the third album released in 1995 and it's called To Bring You My Love. Once again, P J Harvey seems to just grab anything and plays it. John Parrish the same, he just grabs loads of instruments. Joe Gore plays guitar and ebow. Mick Harvey plays the bass and organ. Jean-Marc Butte on drums. On a couple of tracks, Joe Dilworth does a little bit We've got string arrangements, and the play on here are, we've got Sonia Slaney on violin, Jocelyn Pook and Jules Singleton on the viola, and Sian Bell on the cello. First track on here is the title track, To Bring My Love. Interesting track, very proggy in places. The keyboard it's a great track, love that. And then we get Meet the Monster. Great bass line, very distorted, great vocal from P J Harvey. Working for the Man, another great bass line. It's a different sort of bass. This is not distorted, it's more of a thumpy, and the guitar works well on this track. Come On Billy. What adds to this track are those strings. Gives it that extra depth. It's a really good track. Then we have a thing called Teklo. Not one of my favourite tracks. Then we have my favourite track again. One of my favourites by her. It's called Long Snake Moan. It's a great guitar work. The keyboard's great. It's just a good old-fashioned rock song. Down by the Water, distorted bass line. I love the gritty sound she gets on this, and that great vocal from P J Harvey. I Think I'm a Mother is the next track. Lots of good guitar work on this. The vocals are brilliant. It's just different. Sounds like she's singing it through got something over her mouth and singing through the plastic or something. Really interesting. Then Send His Love to Me. Great track. The guitar work on this is fantastic. The Dancer. This sounds a little bit like a Nick Cave song. I wonder if she was influenced by him in any other reason. It's alright. Pretty good. It's an excellent album. I love playing this. It would have been my number one just for a couple of tracks, but it has got some acoustic sax, some bit of progs thrown in there, and some great rock tracks. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 8 out of 10. Okay then, coming in at number 1. It's the 5th album. It was released in 2000 and it's called Stories from the City, Stories from the Sea. P J Harvey again plays loads of instruments. Even Rob Ellis is joining in now. He doesn't just play the drums, gets the piano out, the synthesizers are there, harpsichords, vibraphones, tambourines. Mick Harvey again playing lots of different sort of things, organs, accordions, harmoniums. We've got some guest musicians on here. We've got vocalist Thom Yorke, who does vocals some vocals on 4, 5 and 7, and keyboards on track 4. First track, Big Etsy. Driving riffs on here, interesting vocal. It's more gentle shouting than singing, but it works. It's not overpowering shouting. Very, very good track. Good Fortune. Very commercial for P J Harvey, but it's excellent. It just proves what a good artist she is. Place Called Home. Very good vocal. Pulling all her years of experience and music influences into this track. Excellent track. One Line. We got Thom Yorke doing some backing vocals on it. It's a catchy tune. Great arrangement. Lots of feel, and the percussion's good on it. Then Beautiful Feeling. This is P J Harvey on the guitar and singing. Some really good vocals. Again, Thom's backing vocals, or Tom, I don't know how to pronounce his name. Very, very good. Then we get the Whore's Hustle and the Hustler's Whore. Great rock track. Great bass line on this. Some strong riffs on this one. The Mess We're In. This is a duo that he does with Thom Yorke, or Tom Yorke, I don't. Very good song. Very good. You Said Something. a very mature song. It's quite commercial, but it's got some great guitar work in it. It's got a little bit of country feel to it as well, which is a bit different for her. Then we get Kamikaze. This is interesting. 1 minute she's singing some angelic stuff, then she's screeching, then she's being funky. It's a really good track. This is Love, my favourite song. That's just great. I love the aggression on this. But there's some sort of angelity to it as well. Brilliant track. Horses in My Dreams. It's a very gentle track. This is some nice gentle guitars and piano. Very solid vocal from P J Harvey. We Float, probably one of the weaker tracks on the album for me. Not my particular favourite. And the album ends up with This Wicked Tongue. Great little rocker. This is supposed to be a hidden track, but it's really, really good. I love that track. This is my favourite album because it's got lots of elements of all sorts of style. Poppy, grungy, party fun stuff. Vocals are really good on this, very strong. Different styles of singing as well. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 8.5. Right, there we go. Bit of PJ Harvey. Looking forward to a new album. As I said, very underrated, and considering she's not mainstream, she has, her work ethic is amazing. Sold lots of albums, and rightly so, deserves an MBE. She works really hard. Next up is a retro ranking, and we're going to have a look at a terrific singer from the 60s, had lots of hits in the 60s, known for singing barefoot on stage, Sandy Shaw. So I'll be back for that later. Bye for now.